Hi, my name's Alicia. I'm from Zygote Brown Designs. Thank you so much for purchasing the bunny rabbit head template. Today I'm going to walk you through on how to put it together. So first of all, you would have got your email where you get it to choose and download between either an A4 or letter size template, just depending on where you live and what you have access to. So download your template and then you print it, and once you get something like this, and when we get your template, there's some visual instructions on how to put it together. I've done it a little differently to other ones this year, so I'm going to see how we go. I'm hoping that everyone watches this video on how to put it together, because it's so much easier when I talk you and walk you through the process than rather reading it. We're going to talk cardboard. For this template, I think you definitely need like a thinner, like a finer cardboard, like say between 2 to 3 mils thick. The more finer detailed templates, you will need a finer cardboard. It really helps with the joins. It looks a lot less messy and it provides a lot more structure because the fluting is a lot smaller and there's more sort of fluting along between each join. So today I'm going to use my son's, what is this, Infinity Saga, I don't know what that's called. The Guardianship. His Lego box. These boxes are awesome. They're a really thin, but really strong and firm. Electrical boxes, so many toy boxes that you kids get are awesome for these builds, because they have sort of an outer layer, which is really strong layer of cardboard on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and I'm going to lay the template on the outside of the box, so that I'm going to be scoring and cutting on this side. So then when I put the template together, that will sit on the inside of the helmet. Not helmet, head. So with this template, I have just given you one size. I will show you the size. It fits me. It fits me fine. It is tight on the sides, and it does sit on, I think you call the cheekbones here. So it fits me fine, and it fits my children fine. One of them finds that it sits and too close to the eye. So you may need to do some adjusting along here, like trim this along here if it's going to be poking the eye, but it kind of rests on your cheekbones. So it is a tight fit costume. So just be wary of that. I think I have a head which is 53 centimeters. I'm going to check in my toolbox. No, 58. I'm 58 centimeters diameter, and that's with my headband on as well. So if you wanted to enlarge it, I would enlarge it, and I'd do that by scaling it in the print section, which would just, tile scale selection. So you just print page scaling, tile all pages, and then I'd set it to like 105. You don't want it too big, or if you were going smaller, I don't know how much smaller you would go. I'd probably rather pad out a helmet than a hat, than either make it too small. You don't want it too tight on a little one's head. And just by padding it out, you would just add padding around it so that it did fit their head. But yes, it is a tight fit. So I'm hoping you're not going to have too much troubles with it, because it's really hard it sort of depends on your face shape and head shape, whether or not the sizing. But I would say child to teenager maybe, it definitely fits. But an adult, I would possibly upsize it. Anyway, so that's the sizing. The cardboard we've discussed, and safety. Make sure you take all safety precautions. Protect your tables. I use a cutting board. Make sure you follow all safety precautions of all utensils that you're using, your craft blades. Please be very, very careful when you're making this. The hot glue can be hot. I like to use like a low heat glue with masking tape so that I can give it that time to sort of set a bit. But yeah, make sure you follow all safety precautions, because all craftings, all making things out in crafting can be risky and dangerous, and we don't want you cutting or burning yourself or even damaging any of your tabletops or anything like that when we make it. Okay, let's discuss templates and cutting out and getting your templates ready to place onto the cardboard to trim around. So first of all, you've got your backhead templates, which is just on your paper. You can trim around them and tack them down to for this, it will be onto that side of the cardboard. But the rest of the templates are all 2 pages which you join together. I know I'm going to see people do this and cut that template out and that template, but please don't, because you're going to have a line right down the middle, and it's going to make it look, it's not going to hold form as well, or sit as well. So what you do is you get template A, any page that has template like face A or draw A or ear A, you cut on that dotted line, which it has the scissors mark. So you just trim down that line. Now this is different to my other templates. Usually I have crosses on it, and you line it up on a window and you try and line it and see if you can see the transparency and make sure that it's gone through and it's lining up right. This time I'm doing it differently because I think this is easier. Well, I'm going to try. Hopefully it's easier. So let's have a look. I'm going to bring it down. Right. So I've cut template A, and then I place it over template B like this, and I just line it up for the tip, the 2 tips to meet, and then I put a little bit of tape, you can use sticky tape, a little bit of tape to hold it so that when I cut it, it should hold. Okay, so then that's the template. You can trim around it and then place it on your cupboard. So that is your template that you're cutting around. Do not go down this line here or even score down that line. You want to just join it there. Okay, so same with the jaw. The jaw comes in 2 separate pages, 1 of 2, 2 of 2. You trim down the scissored marked side of the template. You line it up with the other side like that. And you tape it. And then same with the ear. So we've got the left ear, left ear A, left ear B here. I'm trimming down left ear A. Lining it up with left ear B and taping it. Okay, and so then I'm going to trim around these templates. I'm going to place them on the cardboard. Okay, it's a tight squeeze to fit onto this box. The only reason is because you've got your folds in your box pre-folded already. I've tried not to get them onto the on the templates. So I've trimmed around the templates. So I've joined all the templates and I've trimmed around them. when you're placing the templates onto the cardboard, you'll notice on the cardboard, you'll see these lines, and that's the fluting. There's these little, where are we? Here, these arrows, you want those arrows to go along the fluting lines. Now, you can deviate a little bit on the lines, but you kind of want it to be along those, otherwise the scoring is going to fall into the wrong place and it may fold where you don't want it to fold. So I'm going to cut around that. I do have one bit here which is going over creases, but I'm going to try and work it out. I don't think it's too bad. It shouldn't look too bad. We'll see how we go. But yeah, I kind of kept it with the already crease area, and this bit gets hidden anyway, so it'll be just this section here that'll show up. Now I'm going to get cutting. So obviously be very careful when you're cutting. Let's just get this to come down a bit. And stay on the lines. So you're cutting the solid lines and scoring the dotted lines. Okay, so that's one cut out, and I'm just scoring on the dotted lines. Oh, it's not perfection. So that's your outside, that's your inside. I've scored on the inside. Scoring always goes on the inside. Otherwise you're going to have this ugly, I call it the guts. Whenever you score on the outside, it's like having your guts on the outside. So just pre-molding it in all those scoring lines. Let's see how firm this Lego box is. It's so nice, so that when I come into glue, it's nice and firm. Look at that. Oh, it feels so good. And we'll glue that like that together. So that's the first one. I'm going to cut out the rest. I'm going to cut out I really want to show you the face template when you cut it out, because there's two arrows here. And the arrows are that when you're that's not a scoring line, but I do want you to score to here. There's a little note on the inside, but I do want you to score just to there. It will naturally do it anyway when you start to put it together. But yeah, that's a point to stop scoring. It's just hard to show you when I've got the two pages joining like that. So yeah, go ahead and cut out the rest of your templates. You can Okay, so with the face A and B template, you just need to, when you're scoring, make sure you just score that little bit there, and then the rest of them. But don't score all the way down, because, well, it'll give you well, you can if you want that type of characteristic, but I like it flat, a flat nose.
Scoring, I'm not going all the way through, but just scoring at the top, the surface of it.
Okay, so there's that crease that I was talking to you about. And then there's my creases with it. So let's see, I'll just get a line like that. Maybe the bunny's been in a bit of a fight. He's got a bit of a scar on the side of his face. Her face, his face, who knows. So yeah, that'll probably show up like that. I'm not bothered by that, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to cut out the rest. Okay, so I've cut out all of the templates into the cardboard. Now, I did realise when I was cutting it out, because sometimes we don't always think all the way through, with the bunny ears, you are going to have a side that's showing that does have the print on it if you're upcycling, which I hope you're upcycling a box. But that it doesn't really bother me too much. So there's ways around it. You can paint it, you can print out another one of these and then get the colour that you want, even if it's craft colour, and then place it on the inside of the ear so that it would even just sit there. That's what I have with my top hat version. It just sits in there, so you could have it like that. You could also use craft coloured tape, or you could turn it the other way around so that you have the guts on the outside, but you have that as the outside. And actually, to be honest, I should have done the whole thing with it on the outside, because I think that would look really cool. And then you'd have Thanos's face. I don't know if that actually would have been cool on the side of the bunny. But anyway, yeah, you can do either way. But my point is, we're upcycling boxes, but don't get too worried about it. You can just paint it or if I was keeping the craft effect, to get another piece of cardboard and cut it out. Do that. Because they're mirror images of each other. Anyway, let's get down to business. So when I'm gluing it all together, I've just plugged in. I just use a $2 shop glue gun because it's small and it gets in, and I just figure that I want to use what everybody else uses. Mine's kind of a low heat. I do prefer that because burning is probably your biggest hazard that you might have. And that's what I really want you to be careful when you're doing this, because I don't want you to burn yourself. I'm trialing these silicone fingers for when I rub off excess glue, but they're not foolproof, because see that? I was working for somebody else who I do cardboarding for, and their hot glue guns are so hot, and that burnt right through. But anyway, so you've still got to be careful. I think the Band-Aids have always been my go-to, because they don't usually burn through, but you can still get burnt if you're not careful. So please be careful with the hot glue. Okay, I know I'm babbling on, but I just want you to be safe. So let's get the back of the head first. Push these out of the way. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. 5 pieces. I think this is an easy build for a crafty person, but a difficult build for a non-crafty, non-experienced with cardboarding person, but easy for a person that's done this before. So we're going to shape all the scoring lines inwards with this one. Because it's nice and firm, it's really easy to shape it. It doesn't fall to any other. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to use masking tape. This technique will only work if you've got that thin, this is 2mm cardboard. It will not work if you're using like a 5mm cardboard, a 4mm cardboard. It gets close with the 3mm. It's only going to work with a like that 2, possibly 3 mil. Otherwise, you're going to have to use more glue in the joints, a different technique. That's why I'm suggesting to do the thin. If you're using thick cardboard and using masking tape to help you do the build, I would put the masking tape on first, put the glue into the join like this, and then push it together and tape it so that it holds within the join. I'll change it over to my thumb because that's the one I'm going to be using. Protects my ring as well. Okay, so I do it in the joint like that. But if you've got if you're using a 2mm to 1mm, maybe 3mm, I would do it this way, which is so much faster as well and so easy. I tape it first and then I will go and glue it afterwards. So I do all the taping first, get all the joints together nicely. That tip is too far apart. Tips sometimes are hard. I'm gonna go like this, push it, pull it over, make sure it's exposed for the glue. So really tape that. You'll find that the tips are the harder ones, but just really tape that so you've got no light coming through. And then I will go through with the glue and put it on the inside there. And then put it aside to let it dry. So that's what you want. So that's the first back of your head. I'm just joining together the big dart down the middle. And see how when I get it, I get the cardboard and I push down into the joint as I roll it over to try and get that really nice tight join. I'm hoping that's visible there for you. I did a survey in my support group, and if you're not in my support group, you should join the support group, which is on Facebook. And I encourage anybody with questions, extra questions that you want to ask, or even if you just want to show off what you've done, or if you've got new techniques that you've worked out that were easier for you, hop on there and discuss them there. I'm really trying to build a community of cardboard builders there. But I asked the support group what they preferred, if they preferred the portrait or the landscape view in these walkthroughs. And so it was a little, there wasn't too much of a preference, but it was more, there was a couple of people who did prefer the landscape. So the reason I do this is because I feel like we're closer. I can talk to you and you can see my hands and I can get right up close. But when I do the landscape view, then you've got all this empty air space here. So that's why I've been doing this view. So you have to hold your iPad up this way to watch it. So I hope it works for you. But anyway, all feedback. Go into the support group and we can all discuss it there. So that's the second part of the back of the head. Now we've got the jaw. So I'm just going to crease all those pre-creased lines. So I've missed one. that on. Jewelry's still out on those silicone things. Okay, so I've creased it. First of all, I'm going to join this join here, which is the cheek. Now, I use masking tape. This is like painter's masking tape, which is meant to come off really easily. You can use any. See, as I'm joining it, I'm going to do it that way. See, as I'm joining it, I'm curving it in like that to join, to get those tips together. And then I'm rolling this around here to that tip, and I'm going to tape it so then you've got your cheek shape. So I rolled it around. So just basically pop, take the end. Better get some glue on that, hey? It's not holding. Take your time, don't rush it. I find it quite therapeutic building, just taking my time. Then I just glued on the inside, and then you've got your cheek there, and then your nose goes there. So I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to try and do a long strip, so I'm going to start at the top, start up here. I'm going to join that one across, and then I'm going to work my way to this one, roll it around. I'm going to do that again on that side so you can see both sides. Roll it around because it's quite dark, the inside, and then I'll roll it down. That's one piece of tape. So the head, this one's probably the most different directions and complicated of folding. So this is going down the side, so you're folding those joins inwards. This bit is your snout coming out. So you just, if there's a little triangle, sort of 2 lines here, triangle, you're pushing that out just a little bit, just gently pushing that out with that 2 sort of V upside down arrows, maybe you would call them. And then this join, this line is going in. Line is going in, and then the line, the extra line we put there, we'll just put there. So can you see those lines? They're going towards me. This is coming out a bit more. So we're going round, 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 round. These 2 here, they're going in like that, and they're going in, and then they're going to go around and out. So all of the joins around here, around the eye socket, are going outwards. So we want to go and push those out. Those joins, those not joins, scoring lines, pushing those out, pushing it out, pushing it out, pushing it out, so that when we come now to glue it, it's going to go in there and out there. So I'm going to join this together. Trying to do it so that you can see. I have to get up and over. There we go. So see my nice little join there? Well, it's nice at the moment. Let's hope it stays that way. And I want to tuck them around. So roll it around that joint. You are going to get creases in this area. If you don't, you're amazing, because I get creases in this area. Okay. I don't mind the creases around the eyes too much. I do mind the creases in other areas, but I don't mind them in the eyes. Okay, let's just check. I can't see much light coming through there. Apply the glue from the inside. Now, there's another little scoring line here, which is the nose, and it's got a bit of room here for some more cardboard to slot in front of it, so that will fold over the top. So I'll just do the other side of this. So when you're going around, it kind of drops down this side. Watch. So it'll drop down that side as you're coming around. If you want to spend, this is where you want to spend the time trying to make it right before you glue it. Okay, I think I got it. Nice sort of join there. Okay. So then we have your front of your face done. Now we've done the main body, the ears we'll just leave, but we've done the main body of the head, and now it's a matter of sort of bringing them all together. The two backs of the heads together first. Now, let me have a look. There's a long side and a short side. The short side is attaching to the front of the face there. The long side is running from the top all the way down the back. That's the back seam of the head. Now, this is a tight turn. So, start at the bottom of joining the two long sides together and just basically join the first bit together. So like we did that one join. So, and then just let that set so it has a pivot point to push against. And then once it's cooled a bit and you've got a bit of a, then slowly work your way up. See how that's really, like, I'm basically pushing up against each joint, and so I'm pushing and rolling along the joint like this, and then taping it over like that. So you kind of want to lay your tape down first, and then push against each other, the joint against each other, and roll up it like this. And then you're going to get cracks that are open like this, and then you just push into the joints with the tape. I can see lots of gaps, so I probably have to use a bit more tape. But as the head comes together, this will open, this will pull out once it joins to the other one, and a lot of those gaps will disappear, but not these big gapey ones. So I just put tape over a gap like that. And see, I've got my fingers underneath here and I'm pushing in and then over. So then that's joined that gap nice and tight. So now I'm just going to go run my glue gun down it. So that's the back of your head. It's this join here that's that tight join. You can reinforce joins. Cut a strip, mold it. So I don't think I need to reinforce this joint, but I'm going to show you in a and then just glue it along the strip. So let's have a, put some glue on the strip. And then, so then you'd have a more solid, it'll take a lot more to crack. Okay. Next is joining the face onto the back of the head. So I start from one side here, and it should sit in nicely if you've cut it to the lines. And then I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to join it there, and then work my way up to the top. And hopefully, if I've cut it correctly, it should meet perfectly. So I'm going to take both sides down. So I've joined there and there. And do you know what? If I was going to do a join, if I was going to reinforce a join, this is the join that I would reinforce, is this one. And maybe we'll do that now. I haven't done my other ones, but I will do that now. So this time I just put glue across it. It's a flat join. So one there, and then I'm going to reinforce it here as well. Okay, so as you can see with this, the back templates for the back of the head naturally sit higher from the front. And so what's going to happen is the front is going to pull the back ones down and out and the front up. So they're going to help each other and support each other. So we're going to tape our way round that join. So I'm going to work on both sides and work my way up to the top. And there is a little pull in different directions. So I'm going to go there and there. Okay, and I actually am going to glue as I go. So push down and push down on this bit and pull up this bit. If the tape's not taping, get longer tape to push it together and to hold. So I've got my fingers under the eye socket and in the ear socket. I also don't want to glue that in either, so I'm going to take that off. Just remove that. Okay. So really trying to get that joint in. It's just sitting nicely in there, isn't it? That. And then I'm going to glue from the inside. If you were having trouble and it wasn't joining, I would do reinforcing there if you wanted to, but those ones don't have any reinforcing, so it's not necessary. I'm just trying to make sure you have backup plans. I also, when I'm doing this, I also like work from the inside, and I try and I push down into the join just to make sure it's going in there nicely. So I put pressure into that as it's drying. Yeah. So I think that's probably the hardest join is the one that goes right over the head. And once this is set a bit more, I'm going to take off the tape and put on the jaw. And then it's just the ears and we're done. So see, it's not a long build, some tricky bits in it, but I think it's a fun one. So I'm gonna start taking off the tape. Now, careful when you're taking off the tape. I just teared a little bit of the cardboard, which is fine because I just get some stick glue and I put it under there because it sits in between the cardboard and it doesn't change its colour. And to be honest, this Lego box, the tape's coming off it so well. Sometimes they don't come off as good as this. I'm having minimal tears on this. Do you know, I'll say that and then I'll go and tear it. But anyway, minimal tears at this stage, but close to the end, I might be able to claim victory in a second. No, there's the tear. Then I just come from a different direction and then I'll glue it down. So if you have, it pulls up the cardboard and you are like me and you want one that looks like cardboard, you want a cardboard look, stick glue is awesome. So I got it, I think in 3 spots. Oh, no, there's the other spot. So then we get our jaw, and we're going to put our jaw on the face. We just basically put some glue in that ridge, sort of in that ridge here, and even on the nose. Oh, I need some more glue. In the ridge and on the nose there. And this is gonna sit flush with those two, centered and flush, and that nose is gonna crease down over the jaw. The tip of the nose creases down over the jaw, so just like that. And you're gonna let it set. And while you're here, it's not essential, it will hold without it, but see this part of the nose and this part of the nose, is I still think, you can also glue them, pull them out a bit and glue them to the ridges here, the line here, I think you can see that. So I'm gonna glue it along here and put it down here, which it actually just sits there but as well, but we might as well glue it to reinforce it. So that nose bit comes out a bit there. Do you see that? It sort of sits. This crease here is what we've just glued. Maybe in the I don't know if you can see it. I have to bend that out a bit. This flap sits in here. So I put a bit of glue here. This is my next step. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and then all the way down there. So when I put the glue in here, I'm going to rest that in there, and then I'm going to fold that and pull it and pin it here and rest it there and let that set. You can put a piece of tape on that too. So I'll show you. I'm going to glue in the rest there and then down that joint, nice big blob. And I'm going to place I'm holding it with my finger in there if you can see, place the eye socket and then that over the top. And do you know what, the eye socket's falling out, but I can put that in here. Here we go. And so then that sits like that. Okay. See my eye socket falling out? I'm going to add some glue in there so it stays. You see, oop, you can see in there. Anyway. And then I'm going to do the other side. Down there. When you're doing this on here, and when you put this over, you can change the shape of the face a bit too. So I'm gonna, I have mine sort of sit like that. You can pull it tighter and it will become more narrow here, or you can have it sort of sit further forward and it becomes more wider here, depending on the character of your rabbit. Now, I think we've done well. We've done well. We've only got the ears to go. Okay, let's try it on. Granted, it's actually meant to be for children, but if it is, come on in and trim along there. I'm trying to make sure you can see that. You want to trim along that section there so that it just sits nicely. It should sit here, not up here. So it should sit here. But remember, whatever you trim here is going to change the eye shape as well. So you want to keep that in mind when you're doing that. So I'm trimming it, and I'm going to trim it from this side. Because this is the one I'm wearing. Okay, that's better. Okay, ears. Ears are really simple. Ears, you're lining around here with glue, and I do my ears facing so the tips go outwards. So you're lining around there with glue. Got your creases in. I'm going this way. All right. So that's your inside of your ear. Actually, that's a crease out. That one. And then when you've got glue in there, you stick that in, and then you hold it and angle it the way. So first we'll do it to see, and then angle it, get it right down. The front ones overlap a bit. Okay, it's right down, and then angle it how you want it. Okay, and then hold it with the glue in it. Okay, so lining around here with glue. Getting your ear, shoving it in this is when you would use a Band-Aid. I'm cleaning up the excess glue with a silicone thumb. And then I'm going to hold it how I want it. So I'm going to have like that. I'm not going to change, I don't think. I don't know. I kind of like the ears with the texture in the middle. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. But the other option, as I said to you earlier, well, I'm going to put the other one in, so because that's the one I've got. So lining it. Shoving it in. Alright, shoving it in. I've got my silicone thumb. I'm just thinking it's pushing that out a bit, but let's push that in. Cleaning it up. I like the ears like that. It's silly. So that's how you make the rabbit head. As I was saying, yep, you can use the template paper. I'll show you. And you can shoot it down in there if you want. Okay, so that's how you make the rabbit head. Join the Facebook group and the community there. Show us your pictures, share them with us. Tag me on Instagram. Tell us how you went and how you liked this template. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it really helps. Give us feedback on the instructions if there was bits that you didn't understand, because I can always change and develop it and make it easier for other people. The whole point is that I really would like to be able to share the things that I make, and I become obsessed with making cardboard and trying to make it do things. I want to share how I do that so that everybody else can enjoy it as well. And then I'm not just the weirdo that makes things out of cardboard. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed it. I'm actually really proud of this template. Happy Easter if it's Easter time, or happy Halloween. It could be a creepy bunny, or it could be a book week bunny, like How Much I Love You, Guess How Much I Love You, or what is it called? Watership Down. So anyway, happy cardboarding, and thank you so much for purchasing the template. See you later.